Very grateful to be here. I'm an astrologer, so I come from that perspective, and Abraham teachings, they've really been resonating in me all my life, although I've never been able to write them down and put them in a coordinated way. But what is the horoscope, or that birth pattern of vibrational energy? What is its effect upon us as beings in our point of vibrational attraction? I look at it in the sense that you look at a chart, that's kind of like, this is what you're here for. It kind of gives you an impetus down that line. Not that you can't change it, but what is the meaning, I guess, of astrology in our lives?
Well, we want to talk about the essence of what you're talking about here, apart from the label of it, because the label of it means some different things to some different people. But we've received clearly the essence of what you're offering here, so we will address that fully first. You hear us talk about how here you stand and this is your point of attraction, and that all that you have lived leads up to where you are now, but that the way the universe is responding to you now has only to do with the vibration that you are offering now. So as you stand here in your now, and your experience causes you to launch a desire, as that desire is launched, you might say it is the culmination of all that you've been. In other words, that desire is sort of like the sum total of what you believe and desire from where you stand now, and it's sort of a projection forward of that which you are about. So as you are here, you are launching desires about your empires, or about your relationships, or about your body, or about your well-being, about your dwellings, about all kinds of things that have to do with this physical time-space reality. Well, the laws of this universe are not only about your physical offering of laws. In other words, the laws of the universe are consistent throughout the universe. They are consistent with the physical expression that is you. They are consistent with the non-physical expression that is you. So it's not the perfect analogy, but you will get the sense of it when you understand that the non-physical part of you, just like the physical part of you, is evaluating contrast and launching desires. And that launching of desire, you might say, from the non-physical perspective, as it relates to the physical earth experience that you are wishing for, or hoping for, or creating for from your non-physical perspective, that is that stream, or that path that is later being charted as astrology. In other words, we would say it is the intent that was held from the non-physical perspective as you made your decision to come forth into the physical experience.
So if your chart is a representation of your past, of what you brought in from the non-physical, I would think for my own self, I'd like to pay attention to that.
And we would encourage you to do that too, if there were any way for someone outside of you to accurately predict or read that chart. The premise or idea of the chart gives you the focal point which causes you to focus upon the question, and then you are intuitively receiving the answer. Mm-hmm. One day, Jerry and Esther were sitting around a table with many, and someone had some very big volumes and it was told to them that if they would give their birth date and time, that there would be information here that would be about them. And so everyone around the table was doing it during lunch at a conference. And so Esther was sitting there. She could hardly wait to get her hands on that book because she wanted to see what it would have to say about her. But just as the book was about to come to her, the waiter came to ask Esther for her order. And so Esther is placing the order, and while she is doing that, Jerry found her place in the book. And then he read it to her, and Esther said, "That is remarkably accurate." And then Jerry told her that he had not done it fairly. He had not looked her up. He just opened the book and pointed to something, and it resonated with her, you see. Now, we are not in any way wanting to imply that there is not value and truth to this science. What we are saying to you is that you have within you guidance that is so far more accurate and not distorted by impressions and interpretations that have come along the way. If you could come forth into your physical body and never think a thought once you got here, then we would say carry your chart around and try very hard to stand in the places that it encourages you to stand. But because you are a creator, we would say, instead accept the power of your now and embrace the contrast that is there and feel the power of the new idea or the new determination that is within you, and then reach for the vibration of well-being and allow yourself to be the creator that you've come forth to be. That which is your inner being is an expanding thing. So if your inner being had a plan for you prior to your coming here, it was a plan that was general in nature. It was a plan that said, I will be of value. It was a plan that said, I will have a lovely time. It was a plan that said, I know that I am a valuable person. It was a plan that said, I am loved, I am love. It was a plan that said, well-being abounds. It was a plan that said, only a source of well-being exists. It was a plan that said, life is supposed to be good. It was a strong, significant, but by physical terms, a general sort of plan of well-being. And you said, I will feel the details in once I am there. Many will say, well, did I choose the specifics of what I was living? If I did, I chose wrong. I would rather be born in Malibu. And we say, you chose, but you were choosing vibrationally. And you cannot use your physical standards in order to understand the perfection of your choices. You see, otherwise, what some people are believing is that they are not valuable creators, that they are somehow invaluable or unworthy participants, and that God or whatever it is has it all figured out, and that you're here somehow to do something, but you're not sure exactly what it is, maybe prove some sort of worthiness to something that is greater. And we say, oh, isn't it wonderful when you finally consciously realize that you are an extension of that which you are calling God, and that everything is perfect for you, and as the contrast gives you the new idea, the joy of life is within you in that moment. That birthing of the idea is the extension of God force or of life force. And then, as you look at it and imagine it and pretend it and find vibrational harmony with it and allow it to flesh out and fill out and be the experience of your life experience, now you are having the satisfaction experience that you, even from your broader non-physical perspective, knew that you would create, but you did not necessarily know the details of how it would be created, you see.
Yeah, I feel comfortable with that.
Good. And so as we talk about how astrology fits into all of this, the discord that you may have been feeling as you listen to what we have to say about creation and you try to weave it into other things that you've learned about astrology is that astrology sounds a little bit like more of it has been predetermined, so there is less for you to do other than to just find your path and allow it to be. While what we are saying to you is you came forth with the intent to determine, otherwise you would not have come forth. Your perspective and your opinion matters because it is a summoning mechanism, you see. And what is the basis of that misunderstanding, and what is the basis of the new understanding that is feeling so good to you as you are remembering it, is that this universe is based upon attraction. There is no assertion. So there cannot even be non-physical energy, soul energy, asserting itself into the clump of flesh called you see.
I guarantee it.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Very good. It is very good.